Hey Mancave, this is Bob from the Bob's N Scale Mancave, and we're going to do part 2 of how to build a bridge, a see-through tunnel, so to speak, / bridge through a fake tree in my jungle room. Let's go take a look and see what I did so far. Okay, what you'll need for this project is a variable speed jigsaw, similar to this one. You'll also need some jigsaw blades. These are Bosch T-shank jigsaw blades for plexiglass, 14 TPI, that means teeth per inch. You also need a clamp to hold your tube in place. You also need probably some painter's tape so you can draw a straight line on that tape and it comes off pretty easily, doesn't leave a lot of residue on the plexiglass later on. You take a straight edge. You also probably need a pen to draw that line with, and a table to saw. You need some safety goggles and maybe some ear defenders if you want them. Could be a little loud. You're also going to need a drill and some drill bits and some eye screws that you can just screw in there, so you got a little loop on there. It's a nice easy way to screw them into the bottom of the board and keep the whole thing mounted in place. So what you want to do is you want to cut one long cut down the middle of this plexiglass tube. And I cut the first one down here, and as you can see I've got a notch that's roughly about an inch and inch and a half, inch and 3/4, or maybe inch and a quarter wide, give or take, depending on how wide you want yours. I probably could have made mine a little bit wider of a gap, but I want to try and keep as much integrity of the tube as possible. Anyway, it fits over the edge of my track board. I just slide the track right in there and twist it, and up like that it goes. After you cut out your notch in one solid piece, I drilled some holes about, actually in this case 10 inches from the edge, and stuck these eye screws, little hooks I guess, little threaded hooks through there, and make sure it goes longer than the curve of this piece of plastic, otherwise it just isn't going to go into the wood. So you need them long enough. And I got another one on the other side over here. This is what's going to hold that tube in place, because the tube kind of compresses and this compresses over the top of that gap and presses on the bottom, keeps it all in place so it doesn't move. Let's put it together. I'm going to take my tube, just going to slide it over top of my track. Turn this track over. Take your mounting piece, position it over the top. And there, now you have the tube mounted on there. Plexiglass just compresses and pins the other part of the tube underneath it, and the screws compress all that into the wood, and it stays locked in place. As long as you got long enough screws, it'll hold for a long time. On the ends of the section I have here, I'm going to use re-railers to bridge the gap between sections and connect the two sections together just like that. Mount them all up, overlap the other section on this one, screw them together, and you're ready to go. Also, I put feeders on at least one end of this 7 foot long, or actually probably about more like 6 foot long section here, and that's all I need for it. The bridge will go from this end over here through the trees right up in there over to that other bracket right there. Then connect to the rest of the layout, eventually over there and all the way around, and coming over to my trestle section that you've seen in another video, and I have another section right over here that's going to have to connect all the way over here to the other bridge. There it is, it's mounted in the tree. You can barely see it, which is pretty much the whole point, but it's up there. I can hardly wait to get a camera on a train and run it through there. That'd be awesome. Well, there you go, Mancavians. That's how I put an acrylic tube and made it into a tunnel and put it on a bridge to place in a tree in the corner of my room on my layout, 8 inches from the ceiling, give or take. So if you want to see what you can do with spare stuff, just take a look around and use your imagination. I've seen a lot of great things out there, people using cushioned foam to make ground foliage. They grind it all up, dye it green or brown or whatever they want to make it, and use that as a ground cover on their layout. It's cheap, probably free, and worked really well. Or they use grape stems to make tree armatures with. Or they used copper wire, made tree armatures with, and made all their trees with it. Use sticks out in the yard. They got bushes and they got tumbleweeds. They got all sorts of stuff they can make trees out of, or ground foliage, or buildings. I mean, you got foam, you got cardboard, you got cereal boxes, you got crumbs of food that you can, I don't know, you can make anything you want out of it if you just seal it up right so it doesn't rot. So, till next time, Mancavians, if you like what you see, click on subscribe, or check my Facebook page, my Google Plus page, and my Twitter. You can follow me to all these places and find out when I got a new video posting to YouTube. And I got the links right down here below in the comments. Till next time, Mancavians, happy model railroading and stay off the tracks, because you might get hit by a real train. Wouldn't want that to happen.